Well, BRICS 2024 is special in the fact that it gathered the recently extended group for the first time under its ambit. Now, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi admired the inclusivity of BRICS in his statement before departing for this year's BRICS summit hosted by Russia. The concept of BRICS, now containing more nations than its acronym, was first discussed in 2006 on the sidelines of the G8 Outreach Summit. Now, India was among the founding members besides Russia and China, which later also pulled in Brazil. South Africa joined in 2010. But what role has India played in BRICS? What are some of the milestones that BRICS has witnessed with India as a member? And what is the future of BRICS with the growing influence and power of India? First and foremost, India is emerging as the fastest growing economy in the BRICS. China's growth may have shrunk, but India and China together can make BRICS realize its true potential. As of the fiscal year 2023-24, India's economy had a GDP of approximately $3.9 trillion. Add to that the expected growth of 7% for FY25, and India will cross the $4.1 trillion mark. India forms about 13% of the total economic power of the BRICS group, which is more than $28.5 trillion. India is also the second largest economy in the BRICS group, with an unbounded potential for growth. So India has shared its resources with fellow developing nations for a more inclusive, holistic development. The Indian companies have invested about $8 to $9 billion in South Africa. Many programs have been launched by India to help South Africa on various fronts. The India-Africa Maitri Scholarship Scheme enables students in South Africa to travel to India for education. Then there is the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program, which aims to provide training in skills and technology as well as services which are fully funded by the Indian government. In 2018, India approved the Memorandum of Understanding for cooperation between India and South Africa in the space sector. Now, moving on, the Indian investments in Brazil, these have recorded more than $6 billion US. Brazil has been a close partner of India in many fields such as trade, security, even space. Brazil took over the G20 presidency from India and will take forward the inclusive Global South agenda, which was promoted by India. India has hosted BRICS thrice so far, with many important decisions coming out of these. It was in the 2016 BRICS summit hosted by India that the first BRICS BIMSTEC outreach summit was held. It was a crucial meeting to include the interests of the BIMSTEC nations, with India channeling their voices and concerns to the BRICS platform. The 2016 BRICS under India's presidency also saw the New Development Bank getting approvals for the first set of loans. The New Development Bank was founded in 2015 by the BRICS nations as a necessary alternative to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Many feel the World Bank and the IMF are influenced by a Western worldview and could restrict the growth potential of the developing countries. Now, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka are recent examples also of economic failures due to cold austerity measures and economic reshuffling, which was suggested by the West, or these countries, as one could say. But, India hosted the BRICS summit in 2021, which was also the 15th anniversary of the bloc. This edition of BRICS stressed on strengthening and reforming the multilateral system so that intergovernmental bodies such as the UN employ inclusive methods to follow their duties. Adopting the Delhi Declaration then, the group had reaffirmed its intentions. This is for reform of the UN and the UN Security Council. Other agreements included a BRICS cooperation in remote sensing satellites and a BRICS alliance in green tourism. So India has approved with its actions time and again that it is, in fact, the voice of the Global South. It was under India's G20 presidency that concerns of the Global South nations found a voice. Over time, India has reiterated these issues of the Global South at institutions such as the United Nations. Now, one big step in India's commitment towards the Global South under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership was his decision to add the African Union as a permanent member to the G20. He further echoed the Global South's agenda in the Voice of the Global South summits. The developments at the recently concluded 2024 BRICS, they pose new opportunities and challenges for India, while the newly added nations further India's goals for a multipolar, non-Western group of countries. Navigating and balancing all personal goals of the new members may be a challenge. China's ambitions to expand its influence and Russia's ambitions to sway global perception through BRICS are also aspects that India need not necessarily conform with. And India's neutrality will be what other countries in the expanded BRICS would like to emulate. So India has and will continue to be the voice of reason and balance in BRICS to steer this grouping towards the inclusive agenda.